Bullseye. The hunt begins. Instinct versus survival. The hunt begins. Speed. Power. Pure instinct. When the chase starts, there is no turning back. Every second is survival. Every movement decides the outcome. A single heartbeat of hesitation means failure, and in these woods, failure means death. These are not rehearsed moments. No staged shots. No second takes. What you see is the raw, unfiltered war between man and beast. Rifles locked. Dogs trained. Hunters' nerves stretched to breaking. Only one side will leave victorious. Are you brave enough to face the wild? Comment 1 below if you'd step into the hunt. Evergreen Ozark Mountains, Missouri. The shadow begins. It is 5 a.m. in Missouri's jagged Ozark Mountains, a land of sharp rock, twisting trails, and shadows that shift when you're not looking. Ronan turns the ignition of his truck. The growl of the engine cuts through the mist like a blade. His dog, already alert, stiffens in the seat. They aren't chasing a rumor today. They are tracking a legend. Locals call it the shadow. 30 minutes into the forest, cold air biting, Ronan feels it. The silence thickens. Then it strikes, a blur of muscle and rage. A wild hog barrels toward him, eyes glowing with fury. Most men would freeze. Ronan doesn't. One breath. One squeeze. The shadow drops. The hunt has only just begun. Bullseye. Felix's silent standoff. While Ronan's battle is raw chaos, Felix's fight is silence. Crouched in the valley, rifle steady, he waits. The air is heavy, thick enough to choke. For 15 endless minutes, nothing moves. Then it appears. A shape gliding across the ridge, silent, deliberate. Felix doesn't flinch. No wasted motion. Just a calm inhale. A steady squeeze. A single crack. The beast collapses without a sound. Precision over chaos. Patience over fury. Helicopter Texas skies, helicopter hunt. The wild Texas terrain is too vast, too brutal. When the ground cannot be conquered, hunters take to the sky. Dustin's team lifts off, rotor blades tearing through dusk. They fly low, hugging the earth, eyes scouring the brush. Below, hogs scatter, but there's no escape from the sky. Then, the first shots. Ruthless. Clean. One by one, bodies drop in the fields. Dust rises like smoke. Tonight, the land belongs to the hunters, but the sky belongs to them alone. Snow-capped mountain / Appalachian Mountains, Tennessee, the hillside shot. In Tennessee's Appalachians, the fight is different. The brush is dense, the ground steep, and the game clever. Lewis presses low, his rifle fixed on a ridgeline. Minutes crawl by. Finally, a hog steps into view, nose down in the grass. It doesn't see him. Doesn't sense the predator watching. One clean shot. Silence follows. In these hills, patience is not just a strategy, it is survival. The Gorski corridors, maze of brush and rock. Here, the forest is a labyrinth. Brush tangles with stone. Shadows twist into illusions. Hogs vanish like ghosts. Scott releases his pack of dogs. They surge ahead, following a scent only they can sense. 10 minutes in, chaos erupts. A hog crashes from cover, fury in its eyes. Scott doesn't panic. Doesn't rush. He raises his rifle and fires. The beast crashes down. The corridor falls silent again. Evergreen Stephen's solo shot, forest encounter. Alone in the woods, Stephen listens. The barking of his dogs echoes, bouncing off the trees. Then, crashing. The hog bursts through. Rage and muscle. Stephen's rifle is already up. One shot. One heartbeat. The forest stills. Of rice Mississippi fields, chaos and disease. But wild hogs are more than fury. They are destruction. In Mississippi's farmlands, they leave nothing untouched. Fields ruined. Livestock threatened. Pipes shattered. Disease spreads in their wake. Hunters here know the truth, these are not just animals. They are biological wrecking balls. Stop them now, or lose the land forever. 10th The rally point, tense encounter. The team gathers, weapons ready, every sense sharpened. The brush trembles. Suddenly, the dogs explode into barks. A hog charges, tusks flashing. There's no time for thought. Only instinct. The rifle kicks. The beast crashes into the dirt. The ambush fails. The hunter survives. Milky Way deep forest pursuit, quick reflexes. Night falls. The forest grows darker, thicker. The dogs surge, driven by pure instinct. Then, chaos, a hog erupts from the brush, faster than thought. The hunter reacts. One shot. The beast stumbles, collapses deeper in. Another cornered. Another falls. The pursuit never ends. Paw Prints Lone Hunter, Ambush Tactics. Sometimes, the hunt is solitary. Alone, every sound is a warning. Every shadow could mean death. Branches snap. Heavy footsteps. The hunter doesn't wait. The rifle cracks. One down. The ambush fails. In the forest, there is no forgiveness for hesitation. Bullseye precision shooting, no room for error. Hogs are not mindless. They learn. They adapt. They vanish into silence. A rustle. A flash. The shot fires true. Another hog drops. Precision is not luxury here. It is survival. Sun with rays # daylight chase, the never-ending hunt. The sun burns high, but the chase never slows. A shadow moves in the distance. A breath. A shot. The beast collapses. The fight rolls on. Of May's cornfield offensive, silent precision. In Florida's open fields, there is nowhere to hide. Silence shatters with gunfire. Hogs scatter, but nowhere is safe. One massive beast turns to charge. The moment freezes. Do you shoot, or do you freeze? That second decides everything. Explosion symbol the destructive force of wild hogs. These animals don't destroy to survive. They destroy because they can. Crops crushed. Machinery ruined. Fences broken. They are chaos given muscle and tusk. And they are always coming back. Tractor combine harvester strategy, cornering the beast. They think the harvester won't reach them. They're wrong. The machine roars forward. The trap closes. One shot. Silence. Another victory. Grapes vineyard hunt, dogs lead the charge. The vineyard lies in ruin. Dogs surge ahead, baying. A hog bursts from the vines. One shot. Clean. The field belongs to the hunters again. Motorcycle # motorcycle pursuit, the final shot. An open field. A hog bolts. Motorcycles roar in pursuit. First shots miss. The second. Still no hit. But they do not stop. Closer now. Steady. The hunter aims. This time, perfect. The beast falls. The field is safe. Fire the hunt never ends. One by one, the beasts fall. But the wild does not rest. Hogs are fast. Strong. Relentless. Always ready to strike again. This is not victory. This is survival. The battle for the land never ends. Tomorrow, the hunters will rise again. Tomorrow, the hunt begins anew. The rise of the monster hippos. But these weren't ordinary hippos. They were growing beyond anything science had recorded. Reports flooded in of beasts nearly twice the normal size. Males weighing close to 7,000 pounds, with tusks longer than baseball bats. One in particular gained a terrifying reputation. Villagers called it Chatani, which in Swahili means devil. It carried a deep scar across its face, a missing ear, and a temper that shook the ground. Locals swore it returned to the same village 3 times, each time leaving behind broken fences, shattered boats, and the crushed remains of livestock, and sometimes, human lives. Hunters forged in fire. This was where the hunters stepped in. These weren't trophy seekers, but men hardened by loss, with nerves of steel and weapons shaped from desperation. They studied the hippo's every move, tracking feeding grounds, observing migration routes, and learning patterns of attack. Armed with canoes reinforced with steel plating, rifles loaded with custom high-penetration rounds, and the courage to hunt even under firelight, they entered the swamps. They knew something most people didn't. Hippos aren't afraid of humans. They don't run. They charge. The vow of Baraka. One hunter became a legend, Baraka. He had lost his own brother to a rogue bull hippo and swore vengeance. For weeks, he tracked Chatani through wetlands and islands. He slept in trees, lived off fish and roots, and endured storms alone. When the confrontation finally came, the land itself seemed to shake. Witnesses described the beast rising from the water like a submarine, ramming Baraka's boat with bone-shattering force. Thrown into the river, he should have died. But Baraka kept calm. He swam to the bank, lay in wait, and when the giant lumbered out, he struck, a single shot through the eye at point-blank range. Baraka's victory echoed through villages, but it wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. The evolution of aggression. More reports began to surface. Hippos with unnatural aggression, attacking in coordinated groups, breaking barriers they once avoided. Some even began hunting at night, behavior scientists had never documented before. Theories spread. Was climate change forcing them closer to human settlements? Had they adapted to our movements? Or was this something darker, evolution in real time, where the hunted were beginning to become the hunters? Scientists began observing disturbing changes. Hippos that once fled at loud noises now charged toward them. Calves mirrored the aggression of adults. This wasn't just instinct, it was learning. A terrifying realization: these animals were watching us, adjusting, and evolving. Hunters versus beasts. Hunters were forced to adapt as well. They built floating blinds to hide in open waters, used night vision scopes to pierce the darkness, and planted decoys to draw hippos out. Yet even with every innovation, many hunters never returned. One team vanished for days. When searchers found them, their boat was half sunk, their gear shredded, with massive bite and claw marks gouged into every surface. The only clue was a deep circular footprint in the mud, too large for any known hippo. Locals whispered a new name, Mambamzito, meaning heavy mouth. A creature so massive that every step left craters in the earth. Myth or revenge of nature? To some, these events were not biology but curse. Villagers spoke of hippos as the spirits of angry ancestors, rising to punish the living. Others believed it was nature's revenge. After years of poaching, deforestation, and pollution, the wild was finally striking back. Regardless of belief, one truth remained: the fear was real. Families fortified their homes. Villages abandoned riversides. Even the bravest hunters admitted each trip could be their last. The eternal battle. And yet, the hunters continued. Not for glory. Not for trophies. But because someone had to. If they stopped, more families would die, more villages would fall. So they moved silently through reeds and shadows, ears straining for the faintest ripple or grunt in the night. Because when a hippo charges, there is no second chance. The war between man and beast rages on. The hippos may not understand borders, politics, or fear. But they understand one thing clearly: this land is theirs. It always has been. The final reminder. In a world where humans believe we control nature, the rise of these giant hippos serves as a chilling reminder. Here, in the heart of the wetlands, we are not at the top of the food chain. Not anymore. Comment below, what do you think? Are these monsters real evolution, or something else entirely? And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Vendor and Wildlife. The next chapter is coming soon, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.